Today's video is presented by Fiberglass. Hey everyone, welcome to the Electric Supercar channel. This week we're going to be doing a special diffuser for our Nissan. For those of you who are new, this is a 1992 Nissan 300ZX. We have spent the last several months electrifying this. We've got dual motors in this and it does a 0 to 60 time in 3 seconds. So we are on to some of the final stages, and one of the things this customer wanted is he wanted to hide essentially those openings where the exhausts were, and what better way to do it than with a custom rear diffuser. All right, so the first step in this process is always to do a 3D scan and then start some CAD modeling. So we've got the scan here in CAD, and we modeled a diffuser that would fit right on the rear bumper, tried to hug all the contours and make it look somewhat OEM. From there we cut up the file into 3D printable sizes, printed them all out, and started assembly.
All right, we've got this one all assembled. You like how we got one white one? But we'll go ahead and put this in place and see if we're good or if we need to make some adjustments. There it is. What do you think about that? Probably just need a little revision. We got a little bit of gap just right there. Other than that though, I think it's looking really good. It fits really well.
All right, so the first one was close. We wanted to tweak a couple things. So we tweaked the model and printed it all again, assembled it again, and this time it was good enough to start some filling and sanding.
All right, this is the rear diffuser for the Nissan, and it's 3D printed. We put it together, and now filling and sanding and filling and sanding and filling and sanding. So I'm finally getting to the point though where we're gonna add some holes, some mounting holes. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill, put those fasten locations on the vehicle as well. All right, so just added some rib nuts in a couple different locations for securing the diffuser. For today's sponsor, we have Red Tiger. This is the F7NA. Here's the car of choice. We're gonna install this system on my daily driver. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug things in. We'll go through the menus and things and see how it looks. And yeah, we are recording right now. So it's got touchscreen. It's also got buttons here on the bottom if you find that easier. So resolution 4K and 1080p. All right, so we are gonna go ahead and download the app. So you can see, we've got a live camera here. Here are all the files that it's recorded. We'll go ahead and install this. This is the Red Tiger F7NA. It is a 4K dual dash cam. It has GPS and voice control. It also has 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. So just like that, we've got the unit installed up there behind the mirror. All right, so that's the rear one. You can kind of just swipe and go to the front one. Again, everything's looking great. So we're gonna take this for a drive, see what kind of images this captures, and try out some of the features. This has the Sony Starvis IMX678 sensor. This captures 8 megapixel resolution. So it's got 4K in the front and 1080p in the rear. And it comes with HDR night vision. It has GPS and voice control. It also has 24-hour parking monitoring. It has true 4K Ultra HD clarity. So that's 4K at 30 frames per second. The rear camera has 1080p at 25 frames per second. So the 8 megapixel Sony Starvis 2 sensor provides HDR quality for both day and night. And when needed, you can transfer the videos to your phone at 20 megabits per second with their 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. All right, I'm checking out the voice control features. Lock the video. Ah, see, it's got a little lock icon. Nice. Let's try one more. Take a picture. Yeah, and you got the little icon there. So that's pretty cool. So that is a pretty sweet dash cam with a lot of good features. If you're interested, I'll leave a link in the video description below. All right, so here we are. It's looking pretty good. There's just a couple areas I feel like we just need to improve. One is, I don't think the customer's gonna like that. Just a little bit of gap here. So we'll fill that in. And then I'll probably do just a little bit, as long as we got some filler and things out. I'll either do like some expanding foam or filler. And then again right here under the license plate. And then again under here on this side. So we'll make those little modifications and keep going. There's always a little bit of an interesting waiting game because you got to time it just right, because otherwise it's too liquidy. If you do it too late, it's already foaming. All right, just got done here with the pour and mix foam. Hopefully it's got us all the contours and things we need. Go ahead and pull it off. All right, I think after a little bit of sanding, expanding foam really filled in the gap nice. So all along here, all the way over on this side, we got just a tiny bit of gap, but we need to do body filler anyway to kind of seal this all up. So take it off and do body filler, be that much closer. All right, we got this vacuum bag. I quite like the vacuum bag. I don't know if it's going to be quite good enough for like just perfect seal, but the other thing we encountered is that our 3D prints cannot survive with this amount of vacuum. So basically, this is flat all the way. See this? The whole top just boom, buckled in, kind of like a submarine. So this is on the back side, so we're going to go ahead and let this cure and see if it's still usable. If not, I can do some fancy things with fiberglass instead of carbon fiber. We'll see if this can work. All right, so here it is. This is the side that will be seen, and it's looking pretty good. So I think we'll end up still being able to use this. Because we weren't able to do full vacuum, there's parts that did bridging. So it's still got resin. You can hear it's still hard. So this is all correctable though. We'll just put a little more epoxy on there and sand it all down, and this will look good. I'll show you the other part that kind of broke. All right, so this is like, the bumper of the car is gonna be sitting right here. So we may not need to do much. I still do something so it's not just open, but for whatever reason, you can see like here's the supports. For whatever reason, this 3D print didn't have supports in the middle, infill. So I don't know quite what happened there, because this is like the same piece, right, from here to here. So it just kind of stopped, and that's kind of why it crushed it. But if you think about it, atmospheric pressure kind of around where we are. It's about 14 psi 1 bar. And so if you think about 14 psi, so for every square inch you got 14 pounds. So basically in a spot like that, that's like 100 pounds. It just went. All right, we are going to put a coat of clear on this carbon fiber piece. So we're able to kind of sand things and get it pretty decent looking. So we are able to salvage this. People have said, hey, you should really get a paint booth. I've got a paint booth. We usually don't use it just for small parts. It's just kind of a hassle, but this time we're gonna get it out. So just like that, we got our paint booth. So it's been a while, so we'll sweep it out, make sure it's nice and clean, and then set up for some clear coat. All right, we've got the paint booth set up with some lighting. So we're gonna go mix up some clear coat and get this thing painted. All right, I think I'm gonna go for about 3 coats. So I have enough to kind of cut and polish if we need to. All right, we just got things clear coated. We did 3 coats. Just wanted some thickness in case we need to kind of sand some areas, make it smooth. But I think this all looks pretty good. It's pretty set up now, but we'll let it cure for a full day before we put it on the car.
So that's going to be all that we have time for this week. We are pretty much done with this. We've got a couple other things to do. We probably need to do some range testing and just a couple things to tidy up. Beyond that, we'll probably also do kind of a full summary build video. But thanks for watching. See you next time.